Hi, this is Ken from the Ibanez booth at NAMM 2015. Big news at the NAMM booth is Joe Satriani's 25th anniversary. After 25 years, we decided we absolutely had to do something special. Those of you who know Joe Satriani know that besides being an absolutely wonderful musician, he is also a terrific painter and illustrator. So what we figured out to do with Joe is that we would give him 50 guitar bodies. Each of them would get completely unique artwork. There will be 25 allocated to the United States and 25 elsewhere around the globe. When you take a look at these, I think they're absolutely mind-blowing. If you go on Ibanez.com, you'll be able to see the full set of 25. And I keep saying they almost look like some sort of interplanetary cave drawings. And if you move them around, maybe swap them out in the right order, you'd actually find some sort of strange story that lives in the mind of Joe Satriani. Besides being amazing art, they're also amazing guitars. We got a one-piece maple neck, 250 millimeter radius. We have Joe Satriani's signature pickups. We have inside the volume knob and the tone knob, we have a high-pass filter and coil tap. So go on to Ibanez.com, look at the full set of 25. Absolutely beautiful. The other big news at the Ibanez booth is that Paul Stanley is back. He's finally back to where he belongs with Ibanez, where it all started. What we have up here on top, and those of you who know Ibanez may know of the J Custom. Well, we have a J Custom quality PS cracked mirror. And I was just talking to the gentleman, Jeff Hasselberger, who was the original director of marketing and worked with Paul Stanley on the first cracked mirror guitar. Creating a crack in a mirror is actually a whole lot more difficult than you would imagine. Can't do it with a hammer. They ended up having to actually make the cuts with a glass cutter. It takes a lot of time, and so all these pieces are then hand arranged back into the guitar. Epoxy is used, etc., etc. Then going on down the line, we have the PS10. The PS10 is probably, after the cracked mirror, is probably the next iconic Paul Stanley guitar. This is manufactured at the prestige level. When you take a close look at the abalone, the inlays, the binding all the way around, they're really deeply dimensional. It's almost like jewelry. We have Seymour Duncan pickups, set-in neck, three-piece neck. It's a pretty amazing instrument, very true to Paul Stanley's stage instrument. If you can't afford that one, on down the line a little bit, and you really won't be getting much less with this one, because it also has absolutely gorgeous inlays and bindings all the way around. Exact same pickups, sure grip knobs, same three-piece neck, at a price point that people can't afford. And if you can't afford that one, then on down the line to an entry-level model that is absolutely up to Paul's standards. And so Kiss Army, we got what you need right here. Next up, we have our Steve Vai models. We have, going back to the early 90s, the blue floral pattern. It's not an exact reissue. Steve actually had some things that he wanted to change a little bit, so it's exactly the guitar that Steve would have designed today. Manufactured at a premium level, it's also very affordable too. For those of you who don't know the Steve Vai story and the creation, there's the Gem and there's the Universe. The Universe actually came out of Steve's desire to experiment with a seven string instruments. He asked us, can you make me a Gem with 7 strings? So this is very much like the Gem that he's known for, but also crafted at a premium level. The last thing, the Gem, not many people know this, but we see that the gem is actually one of the most counterfeited instruments in the world. And we get a lot of people coming back to us hoping to get warranty repairs done, and actually they don't have an Ibanez at all. So what we looked at was, can we offer a gem to those people who can't afford the higher end gems? Can we offer the gem experience, but have it truly be a animated musical experience? Steve's happy with it. We're really thrilled with it. It's an amazing way to get yourself a gem at an affordable price. Next up, we have Iron Label. Iron Label is fast becoming very, very popular. It's all metal, nothing but metal. Really set up for downtune. What we decided to do with it, to take one more step towards absolutely great sustain, is to do a through neck construction. So from the top to the bottom, solid pieces of wood. Bubinga, maple. We have these are all hardtails. They're EMG pickups, the 61 and an 80. The EMGs we found, as compared to other pickups in that field, tend to have a little bit more definition. So Iron Label, it's everything you need and nothing you don't. For those of you who aren't familiar with Bass Workshop, Bass Workshop is the place where we invent, we innovate, we create basses that are directed towards some sort of specialty use or another. There are ideas that have been out there in the bass community for a while, maybe on a boutique basis. Some of them are our ideas, we mix and match. Next, we're coming out with the Fan Fret SR. Now the idea with the Fan Fret is that when you have a long scale on the bass end gives you a full-bodied throb. On the short end, on the treble end, the shorter the scale, generally, the brighter and more round the tone. So the idea with the Fan Fret is to get the best of both worlds, to optimize scale lengths. So as you can see, this right here is much longer, by 1.5 inches actually, than this right here. Elsewhere, we're looking at an ash body, Jatoba neck, and Bartolini pickups. So not at all overwhelming in terms of when you pick this thing up, that splayedness of the frets almost disappears. Many bass players find it much more ergonomic. Next from Ibanez Bass Workshop, we have the volo. In Italian, the volo means to fly or to lift off. And this is really about playing at the higher levels. Those of you who know Ibanez already are probably familiar with our BTB. The BTB, some people call it our boutique bass. Well, what we did was take the BTB idea and shrink it down to a 33-inch neck. Now, besides just shrinking the scale down, we also tuned it upwards. So your B string actually becomes an E string, and your treble string becomes a C string. So when you're playing on the high end, you're getting up near those baritone notes. It's a heck of a lot of fun. It's completely made for speed and experimenting in that higher range. It also has a rosewood ramp made very popular by Gary Willits over the years. General idea is there is just to keep you from digging in too deep. Again, the experience is about speed. And by the way, it is adjustable or it is removable if you want to. You have a 5-piece neck, maple and Bubinga, ash wings, or I believe that's mahogany, I'm sorry. And Bartolini pickups. Another new thing from the Ibanez bass world, the new Talman. The Talman body shape has been in the Ibanez family for quite a while. There was a series of guitars in the mid-90s. the bass designers decided that they wanted to take a crack at it. So what you're getting here is kind of a vintage vibe, late 50s, early 60s. You have P and J pickups, rosewood neck, bound fretboard. Absolutely amazing experience for the money. There's a lot of interest in those old basses. Some of them are absolutely beautiful, but they're really, really hard to maintain, take care of, to set up. This is Ibanez. Another thing that Ibanez is doing that we do really well, which is to make an affordable bass that's completely reliable, completely musical, and a lot of fun to play. Also new from Ibanez, you know our hardcore line, we do some amazing hollow bodies and semi-hollows. Here's a semi-hollow that's right there in the cross-section between country and rock and roll and rockabilly. The AGS models, all maple, maple top, maple back and sides, rosewood fretboard, vintage style vibrato. So make sure you check out all of the new hardcores, particularly these rockabilly style hardcores.